Hi guys, so Rishi Sunak has tried to convince both sides of his party, the moderates and the far right, to back his Rwanda plan, but experts are pouring cold water on the prospect of it even working. The Supreme Court ruled it unlawful, so in order to breathe life back into what Rishi Sunak and others believe is key to reducing immigration, the approach seems to be to hand over even more cash to the African nation. But it doesn't make any difference.
Let's speak now to a leading human rights lawyer, Dr. S. Chelvan. Thank you very much for being with us. Will this treaty make any significant difference to the way the courts will view this Rwanda policy?
Well, the problem is for the British government is that the Supreme Court, in their judgment on the 15th of November, basically said that you can't trust Rwanda. So even with a treaty or even with the greater amount of money we're trying to bribe Rwanda with respect to sending refugees from the UK to Rwanda, the problem is there isn't the evidence before any court and before the UK which show that Rwanda can be trusted. So in my opinion, this treaty is dead in the water already because we don't have the evidence to show that why Rwanda will comply with its obligations under the Refugee Convention.
It's nonsensical, and it seems that this could be Rishi Sunak's undoing. Immigration in general, but maybe Rwanda in particular. Rwanda has now become a test for conservatives. If you're a real conservative, you back Rwanda. And James cleverly has become a victim of this, because recently he came out and he said that Rwanda is not the be-all and end-all. And while he was doing pretty well in the polling within the Conservative Party, he dropped way down the ratings. Now, Rishi Sunak has also bigger problems. So recently there was a vote in Parliament on setting up a body to deal with the victims, to provide compensation to the victims of a blood transfusion scandal, infected blood scandal. And the government lost. So there was a rebellion. Now, we talk about Rishi Sunak's and the Tories' massive majority of 80 seats. That has been whittled down to I don't know how many at the moment. But we've seen already there are splits within the party. You have the moderates, who I believe did the right thing. Some of them came over onto the Labour side and said, look, we need to make sure that the victims of this scandal are compensated. But going into the issue of immigration, there are more and more calls for the UK to disapply the European Convention on Human Rights. The headbangers, the far right within the party, just want to throw everything at the wall to stop immigration. Now, I don't know whether that's because they believe this would reduce immigration or whether it's just to shore up their support, their own support within their constituencies, heading into an election where they're afraid of Reform UK, who are even more headbanger, more to the right of these people. But for Rishi Sunak, it's a big problem because there's already been a rebellion, and it's possible that the next rebellion will be on the far right. And this could become extremely embarrassing because he's not going to be able to get legislation through. When it comes to the immigration bill, the so-called emergency legislation, this is going to be torn apart in the House of Lords. It's going to be bouncing back and forth, and it's not going to be moving forward. It's going to be stuck. And this, of course, is going to upset the far right within the party. They're saying, why aren't we moving forward? Why aren't we sending people back to their home countries? Why aren't we dealing with this issue of immigration? Immigration itself may bring Rishi Sunak down. He should never have talked about stopping boats, but this will be perhaps his undoing. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.